Hey, Tiffany.
Hey, Amanda.
We had the privilege of interviewing Brian Burchill, the founder of Famous Toastery, last week. And we have this awesome video we want you to watch. We want to share it with you. And we hope you enjoy. It's all about his story. It's wonderful. So we are here today, Amanda with the Sarver Group.
And Tiffany.
With the Sarver Group. And we are just going to have a good time. We have been looking forward to this for a couple of weeks. We've been trying to get something on the books. We finally did. We get to talk to the founder of Toast. So now, which is Famous Toastery, of course. And we're going to kind of just dive in, talk to him, see, how things got started, just the evolution of the Famous Toastery. So, Brian, welcome.
Well, thank you.
We're glad to have you. Tell us how it got started.
Okay, well, thank you for having me.
Sure.
Appreciate it. Let's see. Long time ago. I've been in the business. I'm from New York, and I've been in the business since I was about 13, 14 years old. Worked in Manhattan, all that kind of stuff, and always wanted to have my own restaurant.
Yes.
But New York, being New York, is incredibly pricey and everything. And I was running some restaurants in Manhattan, and I had some people that lived in the area of here, and they kind of recommended, why don't you come down and take a look at this area, Charlotte, North Carolina. So I took a trip, and I'm like, all right, well, let me see what's happening. And for a year, I came down every 3 months just to make sure, and I just found out I love this area, especially Davidson here. Davidson was the reason I moved down here.
So much community.
It's just community. It's just, the energy is so amazing. I mean, I'm coming from New York, where everything is just kind of like boom, 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 boom. You're just you're walking down the street and someone just nods and you say, hello, how you doing? How you doing? At first, it's hard to get used to.
Right.
At first, you're like, what?
All Southerners around.
Yeah, then you really let yourself go, and the energy is amazing, and especially in Davidson being a historical town, and it's almost like walking into a Norman Rockwell painting in this town. So.
Yeah.
But I came down about 19 years ago, and then finally made the move about 2004. My partner, Rob Maynard, he and I grew up together. We've known each other since we're 8 years old. Okay. So I kind of had him come down, and we took a look around the area and really fell in love with what this area had to offer.
Sure.
And at the time, there wasn't a lot of what we have to offer here.
Okay.
We're freshly prepared food and all that kind of stuff. So
right.
I came down here, and we had a little house. It was the first actual Toast. It was a tiny house that was converted into a restaurant. And that was my parents. My dad's a retired cop from Brooklyn, and they just wanted to be close to the family. So about a year later, they moved down, and they were just like, can we help? And we said, yeah, I could help. And so my mother became the resident cashier.
I remember.
And the place is so small that the dishwasher was actually on the floor of the restaurant. So my dad, being a retired police officer, was like the resident dishwasher.
Wow.
But they worked back to back, and when you walked in, it kind of helped develop our culture, where it's just like, hey, welcome to the home, how are you? Hugs, kisses, and everything. And so we just kind of grew from there. And, I went back up to New York, and I recruited a chef I worked with for about 6 years on the Upper East Side, who to me was masterful. Probably the most master executioner I've worked with and seen. I used to love just watching a guy work. Wow. We used to work in a place that did high volume on the Upper East Side. And he would do it with keeping his station clean and just immaculate and just amazing. So I kind of showed him the area down here. He then moved his whole family down here. Loved it. So he and I basically kind of just started the whole, presence of what we were, what we are, in that little house.
You're right.
So we kind of grew it, and a lot of it was just word of mouth, because we were just grinders. Yeah. That's how we work. We're just going to go in and just work. And I'll do everything and anything that needs to be done in the restaurant. And I also have a theater background. So I like to incorporate the theater with what we do. So I always look at our service as a production. And as any production, you want it to be tip top all the time. So anybody that really has learned to work with us, and my amazing staff that is close, they have to understand that they're part of a role that they have to play. And it's a really different kind of concept we have as well. Since we do everything, we have a motto: is every server is your server.
Yes, I love that.
And that basically means that everybody does the job at hand. So like the server will be like Nick over here serving. Then all of a sudden Nicolette will come out and we inform everybody that it's a different type of service because you're going to see us, but you're also going to see 4 other people coming and helping you out just to get the job done. So nothing's left unturned. Not an easy service to get to, as you know. It's a very sensitive service.
Yeah.
And you always have to be redlining. You always have to be doing it, moving.
Right.
You have to, if you have somebody who's not participating as much as everybody else, it falls apart. So anyway, we years ago, we basically grew our foundation in a little house, and then this location in Davidson was the actual reason I wanted it in the first place, but wasn't available to us at the time. Within the 3 years of being in a little house in Huntersville, we got the opportunity to come into this location.
Wow.
And it was amazing. So,
yeah. That's where it like really took off.
That's where it really blew up.
Yeah.
And this town welcomed us with, open arms. And, like I said, the community here is just so welcoming and supportive.
Sure.
Obviously things are going to happen, but the way that people react to it here is more supportive than just saying, it's just, the community is amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
So as this place kind of grew, my partner and I decided we opened up another location down in the Dilworth area of Charlotte, which is about 25 miles south of here. Then we opened another one down in Ballantyne, which is farther south. And then at that time, we had so many people who were like, hey, you should open one here.
Wow.
and it was amazing.
Literally blew up.
Outstanding.
Literally blew
up. It was just, it was kind of, you're in awe that this is happening, because I just wanted one restaurant. And all of a sudden I'm seeing all this. And it's amazing. Yeah. My partner's, give a little background on him. He's in the real estate and the banking business. That's his past.
Okay.
So, he probably within growing up, and he's, like I said, we've known each other since we're 8 years old. He's probably the most driven guy that within our friend group. So having him as a partner is just another blessing, because we're so alike, but yet so different that we work so well together.
The yin and the yang.
Exactly.
So it works.
So we decided to have what we're going to do to kind of grow it, and we looked into the franchising piece, and then we went 100% with it. So we started to grow on the franchising and loved it. Started introducing, because we're a family-based company, so it's everybody's family. It's loyalty and heart, as you know. I'm always going to want to try to get Tiffany.
I have to throw this out here. So Tiffany was the GM of the Davidson location for 3 years. She is on the Sarver Group team now, which is, we are blessed completely with her there. But, she does have a history here. So it's important to note that.
So one of my favorite things about Toast, besides, of course, the amazing food and fresh squeezed orange juice that everybody loves, is particular to this location, just the community feel like you were talking about. Can you tell us a little bit about how the different activities at this particular location is involved in the community? And it is kind of that give and take. The community is super supportive of Famous Toastery, and it's just like a staple in the community. And as a part of that, Famous Toastery does several things to give back to the community. Oh yeah, we work with organizations, Habitat for Humanity, pretty much every organization you could find within Davidson, we're contributing somehow down the line. But since we started this whole thing, it's all about giving back. Because we are where we are because of the staff, but also because of the customers and guests that come in through the years. Yeah. Right. Being that it's a breakfast restaurant, breakfast is a very habitual meal. Yeah. So people, if you can serve the egg the right way over and over again, couple that with the service model that we have, the atmosphere, you get what I call an ultra loyal clientele. Yeah. And we through the years, we've always relied on the clientele to always make sure they let us know how we can get better. Yeah. So with that, that helps with us with any organization that comes and asks for any assistance and anything we could do in sponsorship. Yeah. We want to be a part of it. We will continue to do that in every single location that we have. And that's a mantra of what we do. So we want to give back. So. Yeah, that's awesome. I know they do. I don't know since COVID if it's continuing, but used to do the Super Bowl at the Davidson College, and all those proceeds I know go to charity. And how many years did Famous Toastery? I can't remember how many years they won. Yeah, we won a lot. Really? Yeah, we actually most creative, most premiest, or whatever it was. But I think we started in 2010 or 11. Yeah, 10 or 11. And then we just started doing it, and every year they do that. Yeah. People, it's a great event. Great event. Like I said, it's an amazing to raise awareness and everything. And they stopped because of the pandemic, obviously. But
Yeah.
they're getting it back in motion now.
Awesome.
So we're definitely going to be part of that. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
It's always a super fun community event.
Yeah.
It's great. All the restaurants and local businesses get together, and anybody who wants to contribute a soup.
Oh, a soup. Okay.
It's a whole soup.
Super.
Yes, super. It's right on Super Bowl.
Okay,
So they need a
okay.
super.
Playing off of that. I get it.
But it's always been something fun and something we'll always be part of.
It is. It's so great that, Famous Toastery is so involved in the community. I can't, I mean, every time I think about it, there's something that they're doing. And, Tiffany, you worked for them for several years as general manager.
I did.
So can you kind of give us some insight?
Yeah, it's awesome just to see the dynamic of Famous Toastery in the community and how much the community appreciates Famous Toastery and vice versa. They are involved in so many different ways. And also just the family aspect behind Famous Toastery. It's become a larger restaurant chain now.
Absolutely.
They're, have lots of stores all in several different states.
Yeah.
But they still have that family dynamic to it. So Brian's parents, Franny and Jim, who
Yes.
are just amazing. They helped Brian from the very first store.
Yeah.
Doing dishwashing and cash register.
Yep.
And they still like to be involved. So they like to do pop-ins and, they're just a ray of sunshine every time you see them. I've seen Franny in a grocery store and she'll just give me a big hug.
I love that. And that they're so tied in with everyone around here, and they want to know everyone. It's really cool. And McKenna.
Yep. And McKenna, she's now helping bus tables when she can, and we got the opportunity to talk to her a little bit as well when she was there, and she moves around the restaurant just like her dad. Always moving very quickly, and has great work ethic, and it's just really cool again just to see the family still involved even with how big they've gotten. They've always kept that core.
Absolutely. They keep that core. That is, and I remember Brian saying that was so important to him and he wanted it to feel like that.
Yeah.
And that was how his other restaurant that when in New York was, and he wanted it to be like that here. So so
they have family working, but they also make everyone who comes in feel like family.
Right. Exactly.
So it's just like an extension of that core that they core value that they've established.
It's what kept us going, for years and years and years, and just always top of mind. So stop in. Do not forget to stop in. There's locations everywhere: Huntersville, Davidson, Denver, Mooresville. Stop in, have a delicious brunch, and thank you, Brian, so much.
Thank you so much. It was great sharing all this with you guys. And go get you some Famous Toastery.
Right.
Or Beef Hash.
Be famous.